everyone, it's Michelle with MakingMemoriesWithMichelle.com, and thanks for joining me tonight. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about how to cut that beautiful designer series paper that you've been holding on to. Now don't tell me you haven't been, because you know what? I have been too. So I'm going to try and adjust the lights a little bit here. We've got some shadows because it's nighttime, and I can't make any promises about the dogs tonight, okay? I tried to take them for a walk and wear them out, but this is their playtime and they're a little bit feisty. All right, so you see this stack of cards right here? I made all of these cards this morning, and it didn't take me very long, okay? Because I took either 6x6 or 12x12 sheets of designer series paper, and I just chopped them up. All I did was have a basic card base, a layer of black cardstock, and then I took that beautiful designer series paper that I have on the shelf that's going to be retiring soon. Look at it, I love this one. And I chopped it up. I have been watching Kylie Bertucci over in Australia, and she has this series that everybody is just totally getting into called Love It, Chop It. And I thought, you know what? I need to be doing that too. I need to be taking that designer series paper and chopping it up. So we've got this. This design is my favorite, and I'm going to show you how to do this. This is super simple, super quick. So then I'm also going to show you, so this one was using that Picture Perfect Party 6x6 designer series paper, and I want you to see something for a minute. Look what I did. I also took it and made this really pretty envelope to match. So now when you've got someone getting a card in the mail, right, they've got their name out here, they turn it over, and look how cool that is. And then we pull it out and it matches. That just is like wow factor times 10, okay? And then I did the same thing with this one. I've got a matching card and envelope. And it's super simple. So let's take a look. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to chop this paper, okay, so that you're not afraid to do it. I had 3 people live in class with me today, and they all 3 walked out feeling confident and sure and secure, and they were going to go home and chop up their paper and make stacks of it so that they can make super simple cards along with us. All right, so I don't have my Stampin' Trimmer out, and the reason is, I'm going to pull it out so you see the difference, okay? I love my Stampin' Trimmer. I really, really do. Oops, upside down, okay? And if you don't have it, you know, this arm swings out so that you've got, you know, this full base, and you can do a 12x12 out to 14-inch piece of paper. Now, the Stampin' Trimmer is just that. It is a trimmer. It is not, I don't use it because of the sheer amount of volume. I use this for trimming tiny edges, right? Because I can get to like a 1/16 of an inch on my trimmer, and it makes a nice, neat, perfect cut. Or if I have to cut something at an angle, okay, this is going to cut super easy angles, and it's all measured, and I can follow the grid lines perfectly. This is not something that I would use for cutting card bases, simply because of the volume that I do. And I see that some of you are typing comments, and I'm going to address those at the end because I can't see them very well with the angle of my camera. And if Sharon is watching, Sharon, I know that you can see my camera stand base. I am working on how to take care of that. I just didn't have time to do it today because I had class. So I'm going to put my trimmer away for right now, okay? And I I have several different types of paper cutters because I do have, you know, I cut vast quantities of cardstock and paper. So this is just Fiskars guillotine cutter that I bought on Amazon, okay, and you probably can't see it very much, well, just because of the angle of the camera. I like this one. It reminds me a lot of the Stampin' Trimmer because it has really nice grid lines all the way vertically and horizontally. It has a ruler halfway down and one down at the bottom so that I can see when I'm aligning my paper. It is sharp. It has a handy dandy carrying handle. It is very lightweight. It is not a heavy trimmer. It's not a multi-use, you know, I'm not going to do 10 pieces of cardstock or 50 pieces of cardstock at a time. I know the one that Kylie uses is more of an industrial guillotine, and I like that, but that's not what this is. Okay, this is just a very basic, I bought it on Amazon, it came 2 days in Prime. You can find anything on Amazon, and if you can't, you might not need it. Okay, so here is a piece of my Daisy, Delightful Daisy paper. When I was going through my retiring paper, I found several pieces of this print because I love it. Did I tell you this story? When I was a little girl, I had wallpaper that had daisies just like this, only it had a green background, okay? And when we moved to the house next door. And it was a bigger house, right? So you move and you move next door, same neighborhood. My mama let me pick out the wallpaper, and I don't know, I was second grade, third grade. We poured over wallpaper books, and you know what? I picked out the same pattern. It had a green background, but it had the same daisies. So when this came out last year, I was like, oh, my heart was doing a little pitter-patter because it was like the wallpaper I got when I was a little girl, and it just made me so happy. So I know I hoarded this paper, okay? I used it. I used it in class. I used it for my own personal, but ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how much I bought because I must have 4 or 5 sheets of this, and you know they come 2 to a pack. So this was by far some of my favorite paper last year. So I'm going to cut it up, all right? Before I do, let's just review real quick. So I'm going to use a white card base. It's a standard card size, and if you're in the US, that means that it's 5.5 by 8.5. I've scored it at 4 1/4. Okay. Ooh, that one's a little dirty, but that's okay because we're going to cover it up. All right. Put your bone folder. Make a nice tight crease. Okay. So now this is your. Wow. I wonder how that got so dirty. This is just a normal card base. So I have a stack of these, and I like to keep a stack of these cut because that means when I need to make a card and I need a white card base, I've got a whole stack of them, and I don't have to get my trimmer out. I don't have to get my cutter out. It's all done for me. The other thing I like to do is to make a stack of what I call layer 1. So these are black, and I have other neutral colors that I can grab really fast. This measures, and I'm going to put all this on my blog tomorrow, okay? So watch tomorrow. This will be out there. Layer 1 measures 5 1/8, okay? 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Okay? So my basic black first card layer is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So then I'm going to take my 12 by 12 sheet of Designer Series paper, and I'm going to make, I'm going to turn it this way because I want this pattern going up and down. So I'm going to make 3 vertical chops at 3 3/4. So if you're not comfortable reading a ruler, and that's okay, That's why I'm here. So we can read 1 inch marks. Here's 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. Halfway in between, so here's between 3 and 4, the long lines on this cutter are 1/4 inch. So here's 3 1/4, 3 2/4, which is the same as 3 1/2, 3 3/4, and 4. We want the 3 3/4, and we're going to do 3 vertical chops. Okay? And I know that you're making comments, and I promise to go back and address every single one of them. Bring what on camera? Oh, Leanna's, okay. See, I can't read the things that it says. So I'm going to make sure that it lines up at the top, and it lines up right at 3/4 on the bottom, okay? And you can move your paper and make sure. So, and it's right on that. There's a line on my cutter that goes all the way down. Ready? This is some of my favorite paper. Are you watching? 1, 2, 3, chop. Done. Guess what? I'm not bleeding. It didn't hurt. Okay? There's 1. I'm going to do it again, same way. 3 3/4. 2. Didn't hurt. And 3. Look at that. I cut that paper in 3 pieces. Now, because Designer Series paper this is thinner, okay, right? It's not the specialty, it's not the super thick. On my cutter, I can cut 3 of these at a time. Now I'm going to come over here. This is 3 3/4 by 5, okay? Once. Twice. Okay, so I just took 1 large piece. I'm going to move this out of the way. 1 large piece of Beautiful Daisy Designer Series paper, and I cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? 6 pieces. Let me see where my adhesive is, because I just carried all this stuff up. If I seem a little scattered, it's because I seriously just carried my whole class upstairs to my studio, and it's still in a box. So I'm kind of unpacking as we go along. Okay? So here's my first layer. Here's my second layer. Look how pretty that looks against the black. Okay? I've got some snail. 1, 2, 3. Now, you know I've been using Fast Fuse, but Fast Fuse is no longer, we don't have it, so I'm using snail. So I do use more snail than I did the Fast Fuse. And truly, right, this is a very small margin. It's only a 1/16 of an inch all the way around, so you need to be careful and line it up. So let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I guess I don't need to count how many times I do that. That's the teacher in me. I just count. Or maybe I should be on Sesame Street. I just count everything. Okay, ready? Do you count steps? Like when you go up the stairs? Do you count to make sure that you've got them all, right? I do. I know, crazy. Okay, so I'm looking for, oh, there it is. I love this gingham ribbon. Look, it's going to make this look really, really fresh and clean. And if I were a pair of snips, oh, got my ribbon scissors here. Okay. And I'm just going to put that along that margin. Whoops. Guess it didn't want to stay. And I've got enough snail on the back, and I'm going to put that right on my card base. And look, nobody's going to know that that card base was dirty because we covered it right up. Then I'm going to cut a length. And just tie a really simple knot. Okay, you don't even have to do a double knot. in this gingham, it's going to stay. Trim my edges. And let's find my stamps. Oh, that might be good. All right. So I guess I was ill prepared. This is from the Lots of Labels, and that's what I'm looking for. So, yikes. So, you know what? You can add any sentiment that you like. We're just going to say that you've got your stamps out where you know where they are, and you can stamp, and you can punch, and you can put a sentiment right there. All right? The same can be done here, and you can layer this way. Okay, put that across vertically. You could tie a bow. Oh, not with that one, because it's all out. You know, when you craft with Michelle, this is what you get. We're crafting live, and things happen. Just like in real life, right? Things just happen. All right, so maybe you want to tie this one like this. And we'll cut a little longer length on that. And we'll tie another knot. Okay, and that one I did double knot because it is going all the way around. And slide it to where you think you want it. And grab another card base. Oh no. Okay, that one's pretty cool. So you could put your stamp or your sentiment up there. We're going to pretend that, you know, I've got things going on and I'm all together. All right, so remember when I cut it and I said I wanted to make sure that the back pattern was going in a vertical direction? That's because I'm going to take this piece of, remember, it's 5 by 3 3/4, and I'm going to fold it down. This is so cool. All right, give it a good crease, and then I'm going to add some fast fuse. No, sorry, it's snail. It's not fast fuse. Oh, it's going to take me forever to remember. Ugh, I've used fast fuse for 3 years. All right, line it up. Remember, you've got just a 1/16 of an inch margin, okay? And now, tack that down. And I do have, because this is black, let's do some heat embossing. You want to heat emboss with me? All right, so I have this. Oh, this is perfect. This, absolutely. I love this stamp set. All right, so this stamp set is Eastern Beauty, and it came out last May. This was the sneak peek from the new catalog, right? That whole Eastern Palace suite. Well, it's carrying over. So let's stamp that in Versamark, and I'm going to get my my white embossing powder. Sorry, I had to pop off camera and go find it. All right. Ink up my stamp. And with Versamark, remember, it's clear, so you're not going to see it. This is a leap of faith. Cutting paper is kind of a leap of faith. If you've measured it right, you're going to get it. Okay? So, ooh. grab my Stampin' Pierce mat. All right. And white embossing powder is going to look just beautiful on here. Sprinkle it. Tap off all the extra. Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty. All right. I got a few extra spots because I didn't use my embossing buddy. All right. So bear with me. All right. I'm going to get my heat tool out, and it's a little bit noisy. And I'll be right back. Okay, hold on. All right, now it doesn't look like much, but when you put it on that white card base, it is just, you know, really, now I'm out of adhesive. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you're here with me tonight because this is too much fun. All right, so get a new snail adhesive. Just throw it on the floor. It'll be all right. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. Okay, and then remember this little extra piece that I had. Let's tie a knot. Tie a bow. Okay, and then my glue dots are still downstairs, so I have these paper pumpkin glue dots, which are pretty awesome. I'm just going to put that there. And give it a nice trim. Okay. So anybody who knows me and anybody who knows about my wallpaper when I was a little girl, they're going to know what I mean when I say to think of you is to smile, because thinking of those daisy wallpaper is just, it just makes me smile. Okay, so we made 3 cards and I've still got 3 of these left. So you could go ahead and you could go and make those cards. Use those, put them in a box, put them in a shoebox, wait for them for time to use it. But you know, once you've cut your paper, you are more apt to go, I think I'm going to make a card. You know, one of the ladies that was at class today, she's like, I have a goal to make a card a day. But I never seem to go upstairs and do it, right? Life gets in the way. We get tired. We are taking care of family. We're working full time. We come home. We make dinner. I mean, life takes its toll. So if you've got your crafting supplies already and you're all cut, guess what? it doesn't take that long to go in and grab it and put it on a card base if you've got your pieces, right? When I taught Montessori, it was all about preparing the environment, and we expected children to be highly successful because we paved the way for them. We made sure that everything was always where it was supposed to be. Everything was in working order. And I know you can laugh at me because I can't find my stamp set that I was going to use. But that's okay. All right? I understand. I made a mess. But if you prepare your own environment and you've got all of your card bases and you've got your first layer cut and your designer series paper, how easy is it to go zip, zip, zip and put it together and put it on a card? All right? The last thing I want to show you, I'm going to put those aside for now. I wanted to show you, because I've got another sheet of that daisy paper, how to do the envelope, because that's magic. All right? So I've got my trimmer back out. I'm going to move my embossing powder out of the way before I knock it over on the floor. Kind of clean up a little bit here. Okay? I want to take another sheet of paper, and I'm going to cut, I know, don't be scared, okay? 2.5 inches. I've got so just cut it at 2.5. Put that big piece aside. Now, this is 12 inches, okay? So I want to cut it right in half at 6. So now I have 2 pieces of 6 inches by 2.5. And I have 2 white envelopes. All right, so I'm going to make one for you tonight. Here, this is going to go on the back. So open up your envelope and take your snail, and we're going to put snail right along the outside of this flap, okay? And you want to get it pretty close to that top score line on the envelope, right, where it creases. So if you have to, go back over it a little bit, because that's where we're going to put our paper. Okay? Here, line this up right on the fold line and glue it down. And now, here's the magic part. Whoop. Ooh, I'm glad I didn't use those scissors. Those are my fabric only. Don't cut paper. All right. I'm going to use these great big shears. It's a little easier. And just fussy cut right along your envelope. And look at that. How cool is that? So we just made a really pretty card, right? And we just turned up the volume because we made this beautiful envelope to go along with it. Friends, I made all of these cards on envelopes today. I didn't make anything ahead of time. I did all of these today. And I did it in about an hour. All because I followed this really simple, easy to follow method of using the Designer Series paper. So I hope I have inspired you to go out, take that paper off the shelf, cut it up, all right? I know you're saving it for a special occasion, but today is a special occasion. So don't save it. Love it. Share it. Share it with somebody you love, because they're going to see this and think, wow, she used the good paper. I must be important. All right. Have a great Sunday. I'm going to go find that stamp set if it kills me. And I will put all this on my blog tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good night.